All right, so hi, my name is Dr. Michelle Ihrig, and thank you so much for coming to one of my many channels. I am SAT with Doc, and I'm here to offer you completely free, no upsell SAT prep to help you be the best that you can be on the SAT. So basically, these videos are being created because in order for me to offer polls when I live stream my sessions, I have to hit 500, I think, minutes of doing this. So this video right here is all test prep strategies that you can choose to implement on the SAT. Now, one thing that makes me different besides being free than other programs is that I am not guaranteeing you anything at all. I am just here to give you a potential plan to help you be the very best you that you can be. So I have some people who are following me in Saudi Arabia, and I looked up SAT prep in Saudi Arabia, and people are paying $1,000 to go to these sessions in person. People are spending $900 going to these other sessions online. And the reality is that you can study for the SAT for free because all of those programs that you pay money for, they pretty much can only get their information from one source. In 2016, SAT and Khan Academy made a deal that SAT prep should be free for everyone. And the algorithms and the AI that the engineers made on Khan Academy is amazing. And so what my program is about is we are a blend of you spending 20 or more hours on Khan Academy with a prescribed program just for you, so everyone does different questions, with you coming to sessions where I go over math, ELA, and writing, and hopefully in a form where you can ask questions, because it's not like you can ask questions to Khan Academy. And so that is what, like, if you just watch the videos, you're not going to grow and you're not going to be successful. But if you come to the sessions, you ask questions, you follow along, you spend your time on Khan Academy. Research shows that 20 hours on Khan Academy can raise your SAT scores over 100 points. You'll be successful. And I've had great success with other kids, but you have to choose to care about yourself to do it. And so it's free in the sense of you don't pay me money to, like, you watch me on Twitch. Khan Academy is free. I'm here to help you. I do have a Patreon account just in case because someone asked me to do it. But I'm not upselling you anything. I'm not promising you anything. But I will tell you, if you can commit to yourself and believe in yourself, like, you're going to be unstoppable. Like, you're going to be so much more amazed than if you went out to all these sessions, because we do this in a low stress way. We do. But we learn and we grow. So my website is satwithdoc.com. You can follow me on Twitch, satwithdoc. Please follow me on Twitch because I need to have 50 subscribers in order for me to be able to offer polls. YouTube.com is where I put all of the relevant streams. Right now I'm streaming a lot of stuff, and a lot of it doesn't matter. Like, I just did a 20-minute, doesn't matter. I just did a 20-minute video of me putting together resources just so I can hit the minutes that I need in order for me to be able to offer polls while we stream. And I just started a TikTok, and the TikTok is, I don't think I'm going to end up doing tips. I think it's just purely going to be to get people connected, because really I believe that Remind, Twitch, and YouTube will be the best ways to get you all the information that you need to be the best that you can be. All right, so this video, I totally took every single one of these tips from this company called KamerPower.com. The purpose of this video is to just offer you multiple suggestions of what other people think. I am not an expert. I know how to pull resources together, and I know how to motivate people like you. And so this is one website. This is some of their suggestions. I'm just going to give you feedback and commentary on what they suggest. You're welcome to go to their information, to their link if you want. Also, when you do go to satwithdoc.com, if you scrolled a little bit further down, you would see a Google Drive account, and this presentation will be in the Google Drive account. So you can just read through it if you don't want to watch the video. Okay, so according to KamerPower, they say tip 1 is pay careful attention to connotation and context. I completely agree with this. Let's look at it, dig deeper. It says, look for words that show positive or negative connotations. So what does it mean for something to be a connotation? How are you feeling today? Good. How are you feeling today? Good. Okay, I said the same word, but they had two different connotations, right? It was either like good, which probably means you're not feeling good. You're just politely responding, which in the South, how are you is like a question that means the same thing as good morning, versus good. You can tell the difference. So what this tip is saying is that when you're going through the reading and writing passages, try to determine the connotations. Is it more positively angled? Is it more negatively angled? Another tip that you might end up seeing is usually when you're picking word choices, like what's the author's meaning, there's usually a good, bad, a surprise, and then like the correct answer that you can pick from there. So, but yeah, I totally agree. Try to think about while you're reading it, what is the author trying to convey? Number 2, read the passage introductions. I 1,000% agree with this. When you come to the reading sessions on Twitch, we'll talk about other strategies if you're not a strong reader. But for sure, the SAT test, I'm not going to lie, it can kind of suck. Because when you go through the 5 reading passages, every passage is going to be about a different topic. So you might have just read this whole thing about climate change and global warming, and now you're going to have to read this passage from Huckleberry Finn. And so taking that breath and then reading those 1 or 2 sentences is going to make such a difference for you, like a crazy, crazy difference. And so that is something else. Oh, you know what? I just realized that I probably should move my face down here. Okay. Next, concentrate on filling content gaps first in the reading test. If you're someone that has problems with basic math skills, which doesn't make sense why they're talking about math, also know it doesn't matter how many practice questions you do, eventually it'll help improve your math score. All right, let me just clarify this a couple ways. So the reading test, there's definitely certain strategies. So I was watching someone's YouTube video the other day, and they were saying like, read that introduction that we just talked about on slide 2, read the last paragraph, and then scan and don't read every word of everything in between. That's one strategy. Another strategy that you could do is how I'm going to teach it is we read the beginning, we read the first paragraph and the first sentence of every other following paragraph, and then the full last paragraph to get context. But the thing is you don't know what's going to be on the SAT. You don't know the topic. So I don't completely agree that you need to fill in content gaps for the reading. I feel like you need to develop your reading skills. And the way that you develop reading skills is you read, okay? Like, yes, are there lists of books that they suggest that you read to prepare for the SAT? Of course there are, but the main thing is read. I don't care if you read I do care. A comic book is probably not going to help you, but just read an article in the newspaper, find something online and read. When you're streaming on Instagram, take a 3-minute break and read an article about something that's interesting to you, because the more practice you get reading, the more efficient you'll be when you read for the SAT. Now, in terms of math, I agree there's going to be gaps. If you haven't taken Algebra 2 yet, the math part is going to be kind of hard for you. But that's why doing Khan Academy and coming to our math sessions is so important. I found this great resource that I purchased on Teacher Paying Teachers, and I've used multiple times. I think this is my 3rd or 4th time using it, where they pull out the most salient math topics and the ways that kids make the most mistakes on, and that's what we'll be live streaming when we do the math sessions. So even if you don't know the material well enough, it should be enough to get you a couple more questions. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Take notes on passage introductions. I'm going to teach you to take notes on everything. Okay. I'll show you the style that I use to take notes. But we're going to be taking notes right now for this coming year, which is 2023, not 2013. The SAT is on paper if you're in the United States, and it's digital if you're not. I honestly haven't researched the digital SAT enough to know what resources you have to write stuff down. But anyway, yeah, we're going to be writing on the passages. It's going to help you so much better. This is one of my favorite tips. Put more interest in the passages. Like we've already talked about, you are absolutely going to see passages that you don't care about. Like that's just fact. You're going to see passages you don't care about. And so why this is so important is you have to choose, make a choice that for the next 10 minutes, that passage matters. That they describe it, treat this as a learning experience. Like, oh, I'm taking the SAT and I'm learning about climate change at the same time. And so that's going to be super important. When we go over the reading practices together, most of the topics are going to be interesting for you because I want you to learn the skill. And once you know the skill, you can apply it to passages that are not as interesting to you. But I love this because we can choose to think something is interesting or not, right? So this one is one of my favorites. Brush up on grammar, writing, and language test. This is so true. We are going to be embedding, we'll be alternating between a reading and a writing and reading and writing. I found this resource that has like 100 practice questions that we'll be going through. I might add an additional writing session. I haven't thought about that yet. And I might add an essay, but I'm not quite sure. But this is important. Like, if you can get the grammar for some kids, understanding standard English conventions will bring it up. I would even articulate that in some cases, we in the United States do not teach grammar as effectively as people who are learning English as a second language they get. So the more that you can focus on learning this, especially yourself, the better. And that Khan Academy will help guide you on what exactly you need to learn. This one, move my head a little bit further down, figure out the style for the writing and language test. So the passages on the writing and language test are unfinished drafts, and they each have different intended audience. So very formal English will be high academic, where casual will have some breaks in the grammar rules. So kind of understanding the context of what is going on. Next, don't do the questions in order. I agree and disagree. I feel like for the reading portion, we're going to talk about you scanning through the passages and see which ones click with you first, and not taking 10 minutes to analyze each passage, but doing that. So I agree in that context, but I do believe, especially for the reading test, that you focus on one passage at a time. And you can do, so like you pick your passage, and then within the passage, you can pick and choose what you want. I don't remember if it's going to come up here. Another tip is someone said, like, write all your answer choices in the booklet and then put on the answer sheet. I'm hesitant by suggesting that in the sense of don't wait to the end. Like, once you've done your reading passage, once you've done the questions relating to that reading passage, then make sure you put the answers on the answer sheet. Or go back and forth. I'm a back and forth kind of girl, but if you're not, that would be something. But in math, you can kind of misshape the order, but what ends up happening is you might end up stressing out too much if I know this one or not know this one. So for some people, going in order is the one that makes the most sense for you. Don't study everything at once. Yay, that's why you're here, because we're breaking this up in 6 weeks. Now, we're also going to have another session to help you prepare for the May test. So if you even are like, I'm not taking it in March, I'm going to take it in May, you even have more time to prepare. So as long as you're committed to yourself, and what committed to yourself means is getting a minimum of 20 hours of targeted Khan Academy time, not including taking the practice tests, and coming to an hour and change of math and ELA every week with me, you're not going to be studying everything at once. And we're going to do this in a super low-key way. Like, dude, even practicing on Khan, we're going to talk about this multiple times, you can do it on the bus. You can do Khan Academy in 10 and 15 minute sections. You can grab your lunch and say, I love you, friends, but I'm not going to love you for the next 6 weeks because I got to do my SAT prep. And just do a little section then. It builds up. I'm not asking you to sit in front of your computer for 2 hours at a time to do Khan Academy. I'm asking you to find 10 or 15 minutes here or there. You wake up, you brush your teeth, you do Khan. Or while you're getting ready in the morning, I have some girls who take an hour getting ready in the morning. Okay, stream a Khan Academy video while you're getting ready in the morning. Those types of things is how you make a difference. So I teach you how to build and blend your schedule so it works for you. Reorder the passages. We kind of already addressed this, where you're basically figuring out which passages do you like the most, and we're going to be talking about different passages in the forthcoming actual live stream times. Refer back to the passage. I'm not going to belabor this. Of course, you're going to refer back to the passage. Come up with your own answer. This is true too. We talk about this a lot, especially when you're trying to come up with what's the author's meaning. We'll talk about the importance of trying to come up with your own answers first, especially if vocabulary is not your strong suit. Commas and in-sentence punctuation. Many students are uncomfortable with commas and other types of in-sentence punctuation, like dashes, semicolons, colons, and parentheses. If you find yourself in this situation, learn when you can use each type and when you can't, and we'll be covering that. Just come and again, focus on the writing on the SAT Prep on Con. Choose the more concise answer if both answers are grammatically correct. One of the very important tips and tricks of SAT writing is briefness. You know what I feel is really ironic is there's like lots of errors in many of the things that we've seen in terms of grammar. Like there should have been a period or a semicolon and a lowercase h, even in there. But this is true. I use Grammarly to check my work, and Grammarly will always help me find what's the least, how can I be as concise as possible? And so that's true. So if you think two are right, figure out which one is the most concise. Be careful with no change answers. Once you realize that your answer is no change, this is in the writing section, if you get a lot in a row, most likely there shouldn't be more than, even just mathematically, statistically, there shouldn't be more than 25 of them at any one time. So because of 25% of them, and I would argue it probably even wouldn't be that high. So, but nonetheless, only a fourth of your answer, so approximately about 10 should be there. Don't confuse equations and inequalities. In math questions, we're going to say phrases like at most and at least say that you're dealing with an inequality. Yeah, you know, we'll cover that, but I don't think that that's going to really mess you up too much, honestly, on the test. Stay calm. Dude, of course. And the more that you prep and practice, the more comfortable and confident you're going to feel. And then bubble at the end. This is one that I'm divided on. I find like if you are not a strong reader or not strong at math and you don't bubble anything and then all of a sudden they say that you have 1 minute left or you're bubbling 50 questions, no, I don't recommend doing that. I don't mind if you like focus on the reading or writing passage, and once that section is done, then you bubble those 5 or 6 questions over. I'm good with that, but I would definitely not stop and wait till the end. Like, don't be that person. Study and write. Actually, there's an essay prompt on the new SAT that requires you to examine an argument. I don't really teach the essay portion, but I can. But that is the main thing. All right, so in conclusion, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, my name is Dr. Michelle Ihrig, and I'm here to help you be the most successful that you can be on the SAT for free. Okay, again, I don't make any promises other than to be here to help you believe in yourself and give you a plan. So if you have a plan to believe in yourself, this program is absolutely for you. Again, it's completely free. You can follow me on Twitch, and today I'm going to be having lots of Twitch streams going so I can hit the minutes needed to be an affiliate so that I can do polls while we do the actual sessions that matter. YouTube, so even this video I'm going to be throwing over into YouTube. I went over 20 tips and tricks in terms of the SAT. And then right now the TikTok is pretty much just to promote SAT with Doc, as not so much as to give you tips and tricks. So thank you so much for coming and watching. Please feel free to follow because I need a certain number of followers to be an affiliate as well. Today is Sunday the 29th, and I'll be live streaming on and off all day just to hit as many minutes as I can. And so some of the streams will be relevant like this one was, and the next stream probably won't be as relevant, but the goal is to help us to get as many minutes as we can so that we can do polls during the session. So when I pull up an SAT prep question, I can say, what do you think the answer is? And you can respond via Twitch in the poll, and then we can talk about that data. And so that is why today is going to be an on and off streaming day. So thank you for my one viewer who just came at the end. I appreciate you. Please head over to SAT with Doc if you haven't already and join the Remind. And then make sure that you follow. And we will be live Monday for real tomorrow at 6 p.m. Then the time that actually counts. All right.